Your PNC Bank slow moments. Pete Alonso starting and finishing a double play.
Coming in, cuts the angle, gets rid of the runner, takes him out of the play. Look at him wisely trying to go inside, but the fact that Pete came to the ball took him out of the play. Well done.
Keeps the game tied going to the fifth. Luis Acuna pops one foul back and out of play.
It's no slide by the runner Myers there.
But that's the way they play it now, especially with first and third. They try and create a run out of confusion. Chopped foul outside third, and it's 0-2. They changed the rules somewhat on that play. If a guy runs past second base, now they've changed the challenge rules on that. And if you are abandoning your effort to run the bases properly, then you can be called out and the run can get negated.
The problem I always see, if you don't slide, you got an angry shortstop. You got one right in the face.
Yep.
Acuna grounded out to third base his first time up. And he takes a splitter down. 1-2. Jose Siri on deck, then Starling Marte. 8-9-1 in the order for the Mets. You're just joining us. Francisco Lindor not in the lineup, but he is here after the birth of his son yesterday. So that may loom large later in the game. Acuna fouls back a fastball to stay on the at-bat. Teams have traded solo home runs tonight. Otto Lopez in the first inning for Miami. Marte in the third inning for the Mets. Winker and Lindor going over the iPad. Curveball in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, Anthony Veneziano is up in the Marlins bullpen. Quantrill making his first start of the year. Not yet at 70 pitches, but action going. Ground ball toward the hole. Nice diving stop by Paulie. The throw to first, though, not in time, and it trickles by Bride. Paulie did a great job of diving and smothering that ball, but Acuna so quick down the line, he beat it out anyway.
Once he's diving, he really can't get enough on the throw. He can't, with the speed of Acuna, he had to get rid of it. Really a nice play, though, but Acuna could fly.
Smelled a hit.
It's his first base hit.
So the Mets have the leadoff man on, and a throw at first, and Acuna had to scramble to get back.
You said it before, Gary. Quantrill's good athlete, quick feet. The Marlins have the bullpen up on the left-hander. You know why.
It's ready for Soto. Always got to be aware of him.
Big lead.
Acuna's already stolen 1 base this year. Long hold by Quantrill. It's thrown away to Siri. 1-0.
That was a good hold right there.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, that's an aggressive lead at first base.
Quantrill had 3 pickoffs last year. He allowed 14 steals, but 9 caught stealing with the Rockies. So he is not easy to run on. Siri drives one out to right center field, headed toward the gap. Myers won't get there. It's up the gap and all the way to the wall. Acuna flying around third. He's going to be waved home. The relay throw to the plate by Edwards is cut off. It's an RBI double for Jose Siri, and the Mets go in front 2-1. Jose Siri with his first extra base hit and first RBI as a Met to put New York in front.
Well, he hung a slider right there. Got him out with the slider, struck him out the first at bat, and made him look bad on the breaking ball. And he hangs one right there. And Acuna, really a nice read.
Now Starling Marte with Siri at second and nobody out. Takes the fastball high for ball 1.
Hey, with the new ball club, getting a big hit.
He had an exciting play to score a run in the Mets last game, and now he has the go-ahead RBI out of that 9 spot. I mean, the Mets don't have as deep a lineup today as they'll generally have with Lindor and McNeil and Alvarez in the lineup. But if you can get any production at all out of your 9 spot, you are so far ahead of the game, especially when you've got Lindor and Soto most days hitting 1 and 2. And splitter misses up and in to Marte, 2-1.
So he hit the slider for a home run. You wouldn't think you'd see that pitch. So it's either going to be a fastball or the split finger.
Just threw him a splitter, and now he throws the fastball on the corner for a strike, and it's 2-2. This will probably be Quantrill's last batter, with Soto on deck and the left-hander up in the bullpen.
Yeah, or they could walk Soto. Pitch to Pete.
Off the fist, a foul ball. The other thing to keep in mind as this game moves along is that the best 2 relievers for the Marlins are Calvin Fauché and Anthony Bender. Each of them worked the last 2 days of their series against the Pirates, and both you would expect to be unavailable today. So Clayton McCullough is working with a little bit shorter bullpen than normal, even this early in the season. Marte stays in the at-bat, fouling off the fastball. One area where I feel as though the Mets have got a big advantage in their bullpen is that they've got 3 guys who can give them multiple innings out of that pen, with Buto and Braziban and Kranick. 2-2 coming, and it hit him. Now they can't walk Soto. Marte hit by the pitch. The Mets have 2 men on, and let's see what Clayton McCullough decides to do. He's got the lefty ready in the bullpen.
He's not making a move.
So Quantrill looks like he'll stay in to face Soto, who's 1 for 2 against him today. The catcher Hicks is looking into the dugout, waiting to see if his manager's coming, but he's not. So Soto gets the chance here with first and second and nobody out. Good speed on the bases with Siri at second and Marte at first, and the home plate umpire Nate Tomlinson reminds Cal Quantrill to make eye contact with the hitter.
It's interesting, isn't it? Today's game, pitcher, catcher, everyone expected him to be taken out. When he's not, can he regroup?
My question is, if you were not going to take Quantrill out at this point, why did you get the lefty up in the bullpen?
A couple of things. You can allow him to change his mind, right? And he wants to push Quantrill. And he's a rookie manager. You know, these things happen.
Yep.
And you got Nimmo in the hole now. So I think he's going with them here, and I agree. Oh, that was a strike.
Splitter did not get the call, and it's 2-0.
Oh, that's a big pitch right here for Quantrill.
One thing you know is Soto's not going to help you out. Notice he's got Alonso looming on deck. Soto takes a strike with a cutter, and it's 2-1.
Good location, and that's smart hitting. He can recognize, okay, I'm going to, believe it or not, I'm going to get beat on that pitch. I'm ahead in the count. I can spit on it.
Soto takes a rip at a splitter and comes up empty, and it's 2-2.
Maybe he was sitting on that, Keith.
2 good pitches right there.
There's the grip, the tumble, and the ball's down.
Big cut.
Can he do it twice in a row?
We'll see Soto go to 2-strike hitting.
2-2 to Soto. One takes that one down. Another splitter, 3-2.
And notice everybody at home, your kids especially, Soto chokes up on the bat.
Barry Bonds choked up on the bat.
He's a half-inch choked up. You can see it right there.
I always wondered when Bonds was hitting all those home runs, choking up, why nobody else did it. 3-2 coming. Inside low, ball 4. The Mets have the bases loaded. Well, he came with a cutter on 3-2 and did not locate it as well as he had the prior one. That's the first walk of the day for Quantrill, and the Mets are the bases loaded and nobody out. And Pete Alonso in a position to do some damage. Now to bring the pitching coach Daniel Moscos out of the dugout. George Soriano getting up now in the Miami bullpen.
It's really a little different thinking from Clayton McCullough, the manager for the Marlins. Usually in the first week of the season, you do not see a starting pitcher pushed this far in this inning. You just don't.
I think the fact, though, that he's short his best two relievers might have an influence.
Yes,
that's the best call, Gary. Yes.
Good call, Gary.
Well, so Pete Alonso, we highlighted him in the open today about his numbers against the Marlins. He's got 3 career grand slams. One of them was against Miami in 2022. And he'll come up here with the bases loaded and nobody out, with the Mets having taken the lead for the first time tonight here in the 5th inning. The Marlins will bring their infield in.
Wow.
Wow. It's Siri at third, Marte at second, and Soto at first. And Alonso lays off a first pitch cutter, 1-0.
So critical. I mean, I would not have the infield in here. I would play the middle infielders back in at the corners. It could set up a big inning. Mets have been very selective, very critical. Pete taking that breaking ball ahead in the count.
A fastball for a strike. But the other piece about the Marlins, if you're managing them, is they don't have a lot of offense.
Yeah,
so
true.
can you afford to fall 2 runs behind by playing for the double play?
And the Mets are poised to break this game open.
Yeah. So it's kind of a tightrope.
Yep.
And that sinker just missed out of the strike zone. 2-1.
Good eye by Pete.
Brandon Nimmo on deck. All started with Acuna beating out an infield hit. Siri doubled. Marte was hit by a pitch. Soto walked. 2-1 to Alonso. And Pete takes that cutter down. 3-1. So now Quantrill in a huge predicament.
Yep, he is behind the 8 ball right now.
Bases loaded, nobody out, behind on Pete Alonso. 3-1. Pete with 226 career home runs, looking for his first of the season. And Alonso fouls one away. Full count. Excellent speed. Siri at third and Marte at second. Soto the runner at first. And Alonso just got a piece of that sinker to stay on the at bat.
If you're Quantrill there, you want that ball put in play. Pete was able to foul it off to live another day.
So Quantrill, with nobody out in the 5th inning, is about to throw his 90th pitch of the night. Fascinating to see how far McCullough winds up going with him here. And Nimmo on deck, a left-hand hitter. Again, the 3-2. In the air, deep right center, back toward the gap. Myers near the wall, and it's out of here! Pete Alonso, grand slam! First home run of the year for Alonso, his 4th career grand slam, and it's 6-1 New York.
Well, when you're facing, he's coming with the fastball. Pete went right with it, did not try to pull. And when you have a lineup like the Mets have, You cannot give free passes. And that is just letting the ball get deep. That ball's on the outside corner and going with it. And that's something that Pete kind of forgot about last year. He pulled way too much.
Clayton McCullough, first week as a manager, stayed a little too long with his starter and paid for it. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Nissan. Shop NissanUSA.com. George Soriano on to pitch for the Marlins. Brandon Nimmo swings and misses at his first pitch slider, 0-1. Well, the Mets scored 5 runs in their first 3 games this year. They've got 5 runs home in this inning, 4 on 1 swing from Pete Alonso. Now just 25 home runs behind Darryl Strawberry.
Soriano, see what he's done this season. The bullpen from Miami has been very good. Slider, changeup artist.
Jason Nimmo's grounded out twice today, and he drives this one out to left field. Sanoha retreating, and he makes the catch on the warning track for the first out. So after the first 5 Mets reached base and scored, Nimmo drives one to left for the first out. Cal Quantrill throws 90 pitches over 4 innings plus, 6 runs, 8 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, a hit batsman, and 2 home runs. There's Mark Vientos, who had a double back in the second, 1 for 2. Takes fastball low and away for ball 1. I want to get back to the way that Clayton McCullough managed this inning.
Yeah.
Because if you talk to just about anybody about managing in the big leagues, the biggest in-game consideration is how you use your bullpen.
And but you pointed out he was restricted in how he could use the bullpen, and at some point he decided his best choice was with Quantrill. The only issue I have with it is that it's out of the ordinary now to leave your pitcher in big situations. Everyone wants to bring in the bullpen. That's how they manage now. So none more than his manager in Los Angeles, that he was the first base coach, always ready to go for the matchups in the bullpen, and there he pushed his starter.
Well, especially, you know, we talk about third time around the batting order, right? He had it set up with the lefty ready to face Soto and opted against it. And once he did that, he put himself behind the 8 ball.
My problem, Gary, is that we've taught these young pitchers that we're going to come and bail them out anytime they get in trouble. And now what happens when you push them and they're not used to it?
Vientos hits one down the left field line, back toward the corner. Sanoha right at the wall, and it's foul.
That had distance.
Too much hook to it. So Vientos will come back with a 3-2 count.
The perils of starting pitching. He was on the verge of maybe having a real good strong start, and a couple of pitches later it's all over.
It's almost like the 3rd time through the order.
Yeah.
The Mets had the measure of Quantrill.
(3-2), and he walked him. So the Mets have their 6th base runner of the inning. A 1-out walk to Vientos, and that'll bring up Luis Torrens with a man on. Torrens had a base hit to right field his last time up. He's 1 for 2 tonight. And he scarfs one out to center field. Back near the wall goes Hill, and it's out of here. I think it went off his glove and over the wall. And it's a home run for Torrens, who was not sure. It's a 2-run homer for Torrens, the Mets' 3rd home run of the night, and it's 8-1. That was bizarre.
I thought he caught it.
He went up, got his glove on the ball, but the ball went over the wall off his glove.
Almost a heck of a play.
The thing is, the ball was hit so hard he wasn't able to get back to the fence. He was about 3 or 4 feet in front of the wall when he made his leap. I think the ball was going to go over the fence even if he hadn't touched it, but I'm not 100% sure.
I agree with you on that.
Yep.
Heck of a try. Got back there just off the top of his glove. Torrens waving him off like he thought Hill there was trying to deke him, that he had caught it.
Well, Vientos ran to second base.
Home run. Miami is, this is a crew chief review.
Well, they're going to review it. I'm not sure what they're reviewing. I mean, the ball went over the fence.
I don't know.
No matter whether it was going to go over unaided or not, it's still a home run. I'm not sure. Maybe it's not a home run without the deflection. But Vientos didn't know either. He went to second base. He was heading back to first.
Oh, don't do that.
He thought, because you could have the hitter pass the base runner, which would.
The call on the field is confirmed. It is a home run.
Wow.
Well, usually when you can't find the ball, it's usually a home run.
But Torrens stopped as well because he didn't know.
Yeah.
It reminded me a little of the Todd Pratt home run against the Diamondbacks in the 1999 division series, where Steve Finley jumped against the fence at Shea, and nobody in the ballpark knew for sure until he came down and put his head down, and then Pratt, who had stopped after first base, started running around the bases. Here's Brett Beatty, the 9th man up in the inning. So the Mets now with a 7-run 5th inning. Beatty is flied out and grounded into a double play, 0 for 2.
So the bats have exploded.
Mets have hit 3 home runs tonight. Marte a solo shot to tie the game in the 3rd, and then in this 5th inning, Alonso a grand slam and Torrens a 2-run homer, his first of the year. Torrens had only 3 home runs for the Mets last year, and 2 of them came in 1 game. Shortly after he was called up, he had 2 in a game in Washington. Luis Acuna, who began this inning with an infield hit, is now on deck. Beatty takes a strike. 2-2. George Soriano was in 22 games for the Marlins last year. His 3rd game already this season. And Beatty drives one to the gap in left center. That's going to split the outfielders and go back to the wall. Brett Beatty with his first hit of the season, an opposite field double. And the Mets keep this 5th inning rolling. Well, this was Steve Finley on an October day in 1999 trying to catch Todd Pratt's fly ball, but he stepped in a hole, didn't go as high as he thought he should. Todd Pratt able to celebrate his game-winning home run against Matt Manti and Buck Showalter's Diamondbacks. Here's Luis Acuna, who had an infield hit to start this inning. He takes fastball inside from Soriano.
And the Mets have batted around, and what's impressive, what I saw from Beatty, he's been out in front. He took that pitch to left center field where the ball was pitched.
Little looper into shallow center field. Hill coming on. He gets there to make the catch, and a base running mistake by Beatty, and he is doubled off second base. Nope. Did he get back safely? He did.
They never made the exchange.
No.
And Hill fell asleep in center field.
Wow. I think Beatty thought, I mean, that's routine. I had to be. Think there was
2 outs.
2 outs.
You think?
I don't know.
I mean, he hadn't rounded third.
Yeah, but he went back because Mike Sarbaugh was telling him to go back.
Well, by all rights should have been doubled off. But the inning is extended now to Jose Siri, who doubled in a run earlier in the inning. And he takes a slider outside for ball one.
Well, if he knew how many outs there were, then it was just a bad read on the fly ball.
Siri ahead in the count 2-0. Starting Marte on deck. Nightmarish inning for the Marlins, who've already thrown 47 pitches in this inning.
Mets needed one of these innings offensively, though. Really did.
In 31 innings, they had scored a total of 6 runs before this inning. They've scored 7 in this inning alone. Grounded foul outside third, and it's 2-2. Every Met in the lineup has at least a hit except for Brandon Nimmo. Beatty at second with 2 down. 2-2 to Siri. And he hits one toward the middle of the diamond, but right there is Lopez to throw him out, and the inning comes to an end. But 11 men came to bat, and 7 of them scored. 8-1 New York.